8051 serial port class 5. In the previous class, mainly we have studied about generating baud rates at different modes, that is at mode 0, mode 1, mode 2 and mode 3. Connection to RS-232 using drivers and receivers, and programming 8051 for serial data transfer. Here the different steps involved in this particular process, and one example is considered. Now let us see one more program related to 8051 serial data transfer. The problem statement is 8051 assembly language program to transfer the message hello HELLO serially at 9600 baud, 8-bit data and 1 stop bit. With the statement, it is clear that we should transfer this one, what, a message hello HELLO serially with a baud rate of 9600 and 8-bit data and 1 stop bit. So that means the mode is mode 1 operation we need to consider. And if you just look into the solution, the first instruction is move T mode, that is timer mode, comma #20H. So this is done to select timer 1 in mode 2 operation. The second instruction is move TH1, that is timer 1, comma #FTH. So already we know the baud rate we need to select is 9600. To do this, yeah, we have moved TH1 with #FDH. And the third instruction is move SCON, that is serial control register, with the #50H. So this is done to select mode 1 operation, that is 8 to transmit 8 bit of data with 1 stop bit, and also to enable REN bit. The next instruction is SETB TR1, set bit TR1, so to start the timer 1. Now here the requirement is we should transmit or transfer a message hello, that is HELLO serially. So the method followed is initially we should copy the letter H to SBUF register. So that time it transmits that particular letter. Once the transmission completes, then we should transmit the second letter, that is HE, to SBUF register. After the transmission of letter E, once it completes, the next letter we need to transmit. So this method we have followed here. So that is explained here in this particular instruction. So if you just look into move A comma #H, so this is written here to transfer the letter H. After copying the letter H to A, that is to the accumulator, next A call trans. So this is the instruction, that is absolute call trans. A subroutine trans is called. If you just look into the subroutine trans here in the program, the instructions written over there is move SBUF comma A. So already we have copied H to A accumulator. Now the content of accumulator is moved to serial buffer. That means H is copied to serial buffer. So here what happens is any letter is copied to SBUF means it will be transmitted serially. Now after that what we need to do is we should check whether the transmission is completed. If the transmission of the data is completed with the serial buffer means it sets TI flag. So before transmitting the next letter, we should check whether TI flag is set or not. If it is set, yeah, we can transmit the next letter. If not, we should wait for the completion of the transmission. That is what is done next. See, the next instruction is JNB TI comma here. So jump if no borrow TI, whether it's set or not. If it is not set, no, it should loop over there itself. If it sets, then what we have to do is clear TI, clear that particular flag and return back to where exactly it was called. So it was called after move A comma #H, A call trans was called. So that now the transmission of letter H is completed. Now again what we need to do is move a comma hash e, the second letter is copied to accumulator, again a call trans. So here this particular letter e, it will be copied to SBUF and checks whether the TI flag is set or not. If it sets means yeah, TI will be cleared, and again it will come back to this area only, this region only. Then again it what copies move a comma hash l, the third letter is copied to a, it will be transmitted. Then move a comma hash l, l will be copied to accumulator, it will be transmitted. Then move a comma hash o, o will be copied to accumulator, from there to serial buffer, it will be transmitted. Whether ti is set or not, it will be checked, and again it will come back to the original place. So this is the explanation to this particular program. The next program is assembly level program for 8051 to transmit 10 bytes of data stored in internal memory serially by selecting proper baud rate, data length and stop bit. Here the important thing what we need to observe is we should transmit 10 bytes of data stored in internal memory serially by selecting proper baud rate and data length and stop bit. So if you just look into the solution, the first instruction is move t mode, timer mode, comma hash 20h as usual to set timer 1 in mode 2. The second instruction is move th1 comma hash fdh. So let us select the baud rate at 9600. For that we need to move th1 register with fdh. Then the next one is move SCON comma hash 50h as usual to set 8-bit data and 1 stop bit and to enable REN. The next instruction is move R1 comma hash 10. So initialize counter. So since we have to transmit 10 bytes of data, so a count of 10 we need to maintain. So that is done here by copying immediate data 10 to R1. So now R1 holds the count. Move R0 comma hash 20h. So this is initialize pointer, that is initialization of the starting address of the memory from where we need to copy the data. It is from 20h onwards. So next set bit tr1, SETB tr1, so start timer 1. Then move a comma at R0. So in the location, in the area here R0 holds the value 20h. So now what happens is at 20h memory location what value you have, okay, or what exactly you have, that is copied to accumulator. Then a call trans. So in trans subroutine here, so here again whatever you had in move SBUF comma a, in the accumulator whatever you have, that is copied to serial buffer. So now serial transmission takes place. So again checking whether the transmission is completed or not with the instruction JNB TI comma here, or else it will be looped here only. So once it sets no, so that means the transmission is completed, then clear TI flag, then return back to the original place. So again it will move to the next instruction after a call trans, that is increment R0. So initially the R0 count was 20h, right? Now it is incremented to 21h. So then decrement and jump if not equal to 0 R1. So increments decrements the count of R1. Initially it was 10. Now it is decremented to 9 and checks whether it is equal to 0. No, right? So then again loop back to start. In start what we have is next at R0 value now it is 21h. At 21 whatever you have, that is copied to accumulator, and then the same process, it calls trans, the subroutine there, it will be copied to serial buffer and transmission takes place, and waits till the whether time TI flag sets or not. If it sets, yeah, it is nothing but transmission is completed. then clears ti and return backs to a call trans itself. Then again it increments, and this particular operation continues till R1 becomes 0. So that means around 10 looping takes place. So now after 10 iteration, what happens is uh, 10 bytes of data starting from 20H onwards, it will be transmitted serially. Already we have seen in serial transmission in 8051 we use TI flag or TI flag bit. So now let us see the importance of TI flag bit. When a data is to be transmitted via TXD pin, first a data byte is loaded into the SBUF, that is serial buffer register. A start bit, a data byte, and then stop bit are transmitted sequentially via TXD pin. So this is what we know. During the transmission of the stop bit, 8051 sets the TI flag, that is TI is equal to 1. This indicates the end of the data transmission, data byte transmission, and 8051 is ready for the transmission, and 8051 is ready for the transmission of the next data. The programmer has to clear the TI flag, that is TI is equal to 0, with the CLR TI instruction. So we can use CLR TI instruction for clearing TI flag to transmit the next data. The TI flag bit should be monitored to make sure that the SBUF register is not overwritten. So this is very important. If we write the next byte to be transmitted into the SBUF register before setting the TI flag bit, the untransmitted portion of the previous byte will be lost. The programmer can check the TI flag bit by JNB TI, this one what any label, by representing any label instruction or by using an interrupt. The next topic is programming 8051 for receiving data serially. Here mainly we'll be studying about the different steps we need to follow in programming 8051 for receiving the data serially. So here to program 8051 to receive data serially, we have to perform the following sequence of actions. The first step is load the T mode, that is timer mode register with the value 20H to use timer 1 in mode 2, that is 8-bit auto reload mode to set the baud rate. So this is same as the process what we have studied for transmitting data serially. The second step is load TH1 to set the desired baud rate for serial data transfer. For example, if the baud rate required is 9600, we should load TH1 with FD, H, and if it is 4800, load TH1 with the FA, hex, etc. Next, the third step is load SCON register with the value 50H to use serial mode 1 where an 8-bit data is framed with start and stop bit as we discussed earlier. The next step is set TR1 to start the timer 1. So set timer 1, TR1 register to start the timer. The next step is very important, clear RI with CLR RI instruction. So this is very important here because in 8051 serial data communication, if the SBUF, if it receives any data, so that time it sets RI flag. So initially we have to clear RI flag using CLR RI instruction. Then check the RI flag bit with instruction JNB RI, any label to see if an entire character has been received yet. If the entire character is received means RI flag sets. We need to check that. If RI is set, SBUF has the byte, save this byte. That means if RI is set means SBUF has received the entire byte, Then what we need to do is we should save it somewhere in some memory location or wherever it is. After that, go to step 5 to receive the next character. So these steps we need to follow to receive data serially in 8051 programming. Next, let us see one program to receive data serially. The problem statement is 8051 assembly language program to receive bytes serially with baud rate 9600, 8-bit data and 1 stop bit. Simultaneously send received byte to port 2. So this is very important. The thing is we should receive byte serially with a baud rate 9600, it is specified, 8-bit data and 1 stop bit, that means mode 1 operation, and simultaneously send the received byte to port 2. So whatever we receive at SBUF, right, so that should be sent to port 2. This is what we need to do now. Now if we just look into the solution, the first step is move t mode, that is timer mode, comma hash 20h. So this is done to select timer mode in mode 2 auto reload option. The second instruction is move th1, that is timer 1, comma hash fdh. So already the mentioned baud rate is 9600. To achieve this one, we should copy the value fdh, immediate value fdh to timer 1 register. The third instruction is move SCON, that is serial control register, with the hash 50h. So this is done to get 8-bit 1 stop and to enable REN. So that means in mode 1 operation with the REN enabled. The next instruction is set SETB TR1, so timer 1. So to start the timer 1. Here the logic follows something like this. If the serial buffer received any data means it sets RI receive interrupt flag, okay, or else RI flag will be holding the value 0. So what we need to do initially is we should check whether RI is set or not. If RI is not set means we need to wait. If RI is set means just copy the content of SBUF and send it to the required place. So that is what is done here. The next instruction is JNB RI comma here. Here is the label represented. So jump if no borrow RI to here. That means just if RI is not set means just loop there itself or wait for character receive completely. So if Ri sets means the meaning is character has been received fully, then move a comma SBUF. The content of serial buffer, it is moved to accumulator. Then our requirement is simultaneously send received byte to port 2. This is what we need to do, right? So for that the next instruction is used, move a comma p2. Now a contains the content of serial buffer and that is moved to port 2. So using the instruction move p2 comma a. So after that CLR RI clear receive interrupt flag and short jump to here to the place where here is labeled, that is JNB RI comma here. Wait for the character the next character to receive completely and follow the other steps, follow the next steps to receive the next data. In the previous program, we have seen the importance of RI flag bit, that is receive interrupt flag bit. When the data is received completely, then only RI flag sets. So what we need to do is every time we should check the RI flag bit. If it sets, then only we can copy the SBUF content to get the data. So now let us see the importance of RI flag bit. When a data is to be received via RxD pin, that is receiving pin, first the start bit and a data byte with 1 bit at a time are received sequentially. via RxD pin. When the last bit of the data byte is received, a byte is formed and the SBUF, that is serial buffer register, is loaded with this particular byte. Then the stop bit, it will be received. During the reception of the stop bit, 8051 sets the RA flag, that is RA is equal to 1. This indicates that the entire data byte has been received. This data byte, which is loaded in the SBUF register, should be placed to a safe place such as any register or memory before it is lost. The programmer has to clear the RA flag, that is RA is equal to 0, or RA should be set with the value 0 with the instruction, that is CLR RI, to receive next data and place it in SBUF, that is serial buffer register. The RA flag bit should be monitored to make sure that the entire byte has been received. This monitoring of the RA flag bit till it becomes 1 to ensure the reception of the complete data, place it in SBUF register. So copy it to the safe place and then make RI 0 with CLR RI instruction are the necessary steps to avoid any loss of received data in serial communication format.